Thank you. We are hearing for the first time from the attorney representing the woman at the center of this viral video police takedown involving Tempe police.
With an internal review underway, there are new claims surrounding this high-profile case. Alexis Dominguez in studio tonight, following up on this case. Alexis?
Yeah, I mean, if you're online, odds are you've already seen this video. It's been viewed millions of times, and really depending on who you ask, people see very different things. But the woman in this video now has an attorney, and today he's saying the officers involved not only escalated the situation, one groped his client.
Erin Bonner is a victim here, and she was traumatized by these officers.
Civil rights attorney Benjamin Taylor is now representing Erin Bonner after her arrest near Mill Avenue 2 weeks ago went viral.
I was extremely shocked at how violent the officers reacted to Erin Bonner by just jumping on top of her, pushing her down several times, punching her in the face. And in the video, you see the officer's hand go on her buttocks.
That is a new accusation that the officer groped Bonner during the struggle. In response, a Tempe police spokesperson said the department takes every allegation of officer misconduct seriously. But Taylor argues the officers were in the wrong from the very beginning.
Why are they going so hot?
Surveillance video outside a bar on Mill Avenue shows this all started with two people in a confrontation when police rushed in.
Instead of having a conversation, they escalated the situation, and they're the ones who caused this violent act.
The officer is allowed to use force to accomplish two goals: to overcome resistance, self-defense, and to control that individual.
Law enforcement expert Dr. Ron Martinelli says use of force decisions are based on the level of resistance officers encounter. And police allege Bonner struck the officer in the face 5 to 6 times when he tried to arrest her.
For certain levels of resistance or even force against an officer can escalate or they can de-escalate depending on what that other individual is doing.
Taylor says officers' body camera footage doesn't clearly show that.
These officers were the ones who attacked her, as you clearly see on the video. And the resisting arrest, aggravated assault, those charges were dismissed by Rachel Mitchell because their office saw the same thing, that this is ridiculous what they did.
I'm looking at the totality of the case.
Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell says charging decisions are based on reviewing all available evidence, not just publicly released video.
I'm sitting there evaluating it for whether there's a reasonable likelihood of conviction as to the charges that were submitted to our office.
A Tempe police spokesperson tells us misdemeanor charges have been submitted to the Tempe City Court. Bonner's family shared those photos that you saw and the ones you can see right here, showing that 21-year-old and member of the ASU stunt team with a bruised face. In response to the groping allegations, the Tempe Officers Association called it inflammatory, claiming she's trying to avoid justice amid a struggle created by her failure to back away and calm down. Reporting live here in the studio, Alexis Dominguez for Arizona's Family.
A lot of people watching the outcome of this one. Alexis.